When you're ready.
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to go backwards, like against the flow of blood, just because it's easier to talk about it that way. Here is the superior vena cava, or vena cava, collecting everything from the top half.
Well, you said pre-cava?
Superior?
Like pre-cava, post-cava. Would you accept that? We need to...
I've never heard of it that way.
Okay. It's comparative.
I've never heard of it that way.
Okay.
I've heard other ways besides superior and inferior, but like anterior and posterior, but just do it the way that it's in the book, because I'm not sure if I'll be the one grading your thing. So,
okay.
So there's the superior vena cava. The inferior vena cava is the one that's coming up this way, and eventually you kind of lose it, but you can find it again above the diaphragm, right there. Not very blue, but that's okay. That's it right there. Okay. So, coming off, or collecting into the superior vena cava, we have these two right here, which, if you look closely, they have, oh look at that, they have a branch going to the head and a branch going towards the arm. We should call that the brachiocephalic vein. Okay? The one that comes from the head is going to be the jugular, the external jugular. The one that's going towards the arm is going to go under the clavicle, so that's going to be your subclavian. Okay. Once we go out here in the armpit, we're going to call that the axillary, or armpit. If we see it on the arm, brachial. Okay. So that was a little easier than the arteries, I think. But all right. So if we work down here towards the bottom, then the blue stuff down here is fairly easy. Okay. Almost exactly the same as the arteries that are associated with renal, testicular, or ovarian, or spermatic, right? We have the iliolumbar. What else am I missing down here? One of the differences between the blue ones, though, is these right here, those iliac ones. There's only one Y split, or one V split. So they're just the common iliacs, left and right common iliacs. No internal and external. And then again, anything out in the inner thigh is going to be more vein. I hope I didn't say artery for any of these blue things. Did I? You'll have to go back and look. Just know all the blue in the lower body are going to be veins, okay, in the lower body. We also have yellow veins, though, associated with the hepatic portal system, okay, because they're going to make a side trip to the liver before going back to the heart. Okay, so the reason they need to go to the liver is because it's coming from the intestines where you've absorbed stuff,
Detox.
including toxins. So the liver will detox it for us before the heart can distribute them throughout. So we'll start with the intestinal veins, which are, we're now looking at yellow, okay, intestinal vein. They all coalesce, come together into a larger vessel that we see right here. This is the superior mesenteric. And guess what? If there's a superior, there's an inferior. And the inferior one is this yellow one that's running along the large intestine right here. So inferior mesenteric, and it eventually also joins up with the superior mesenteric. Okay? I'm going to flip this over, get a better view of what's in here. Can you guys see that? So here's our superior mesenteric. Okay, if we look here at the pancreas and the duodenum down here, we're going to get another one of those loops. Up here we have a vessel, and down here we have a vessel, a yellow vessel. You guys see those? Superior pancreaticoduodenal vein. Yeah, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So this one down here is going to be the inferior pancreaticoduodenal vein. Alright, so those two make a circuit as well. This one right here is going to come from, I don't know if you guys can see some stomach in there, and it's going to come from the spleen. So this is the gastrosplenic. Once the gastrosplenic attaches right here, everything north of that is the portal vein going to the liver. This last little guy that we haven't talked about yet, that is the coronary. Okay? So those two are very similar looking. You just have to look and see where is it coming from. This is embedded in ground beef pancreas tissue, right? Does anybody have any questions? Again, when you try to find these